Hey there, YouTubes. So I'm gonna cut right to the chase. I wanted to make a 3x3 door that was activated that went straight up and down out of the ground um, using gravel because it'll fall on top of itself. And I couldn't find a good design for one anywhere. All the 3x3 doors, or the only 3x3 door I saw, had an exposed piston. It took forever to open. And I knew there was a way to activate three pistons in sequence, and I wanted to figure out a way. So uh, I've got it opens a little slowly, but it closes pretty good. I could probably do something about that delay between hitting the button and having it work, but it works. So, whoops, should have gone through there. Okay, so I'm never going to be able to explain how to build it. That's not what the purpose of this video is for, but I will explain to you how it works, and you can try to build your own. Um, so, uh, there's a pair of buttons up there, and they both lead to this redstone wire, and that activates this T flip-flop so that those redstone buttons act as a toggle. You turn the machine on, or you open it or you close it. You open it or you close it, no matter what button you hit. And that leads to down here. So I've got three pistons, or a 3x3 set of pistons that'll lift up this 3x3 set of gravel block, and it works like so. And the way you have to do it is when it's going up, the bottom has to activate first, and when it's going down, the top has to deactivate first, and it has to go in order. And that's because open pistons cannot be moved by other pistons. It's one of the limitations of pistons. So, excuse me. The way I had to do it is you split this signal off. The bottom one's pretty simple because the signal that turns it on will go to it first. It'll be the first signal to get anywhere. And the one that turns it off has a really good long delay circuit down here, and it'll always get turned off last. The middle one was a little tricky. It's activated on two sides, but this one only activates when it closes, or when it opens, not when it closes. So this one, just make sure that when it goes to close, that it's the second one activated. And that's pretty straightforward. But there's a tricky thing about pistons, and that they can't, not only can you not move them when they're open, but they can't, if you have three pistons connected together and you pull the bottom piston, it's not going to move the pistons that piston is attached to. So the top one will retract first, the bottom one will retract, the middle one will retract second, pulling the top one down, and then the bottom one will retract the middle one down. Then a pulse has to go through only when it's closing to make the middle one come up and grab the top one and pull it down. So there it goes up, nice smooth motion, and there it pulls the middle. The middle row goes up and pulls the top row down. The way I did that was that when you turn on and off the signal, I created an on pulse generator. So when the signal turns on, this creates a pulse and sends it through there. And when the signal turns off, this inverted pulse generator will send a signal through there. And this has to happen after the whole thing has retracted. So there's a lot of delay that comes through here. That pulse also goes down through this route and out to where this piston is blocking it to activate those. And so that pulse only can go through when it opens. It can't go through when it closes, otherwise it just breaks. So I have another T flip-flop over here And that T flip-flop powers this piston, and I had the very tricky set of delays so that this piston will activate when will activate every other time, and that causes that pulse to go through here and activate these middle pistons every other time the button is pressed. And then there was one last tricky thing that I had to solve, and that was the top pistons. When they the way that they extend is by popping up to here and lighting up. And without this mechanism that I have right here, they would just, as soon as the middle pistons push the top pistons into that position, they would instantly expand. There's a glitch where they instantly expand. So I needed to put a delay so that they activated after after the other three activated, so it was the last one to get power up there. But at the same time, in order to retract the whole thing, it had to be the first one to retract. So I created this piston, which is the first piston in the whole sequence to move. It will turn on and turn off this wire that comes after the delay. So the delay for making it get bigger, this piston retracts and the signal goes through the delay, and then once that piston is in place, then it activates the piston. When you turn the power off, when it goes to retract, this piston instantly closes this circuit, and that signal is turned off with almost no delay, so that it's the first one deactivated. As I said, I'm not going to be able to explain to you how to build this, and I'm not going to be able to explain to you how big it is or anything like that, but I can explain how it works. So, I hope you guys like this, and I'm excited to see variations of this appearing on the interwebs. It's kind of a complicated design, but it works, and it's a lot less complicated than the designs that I've seen out there. And oh, it looks like somebody broke it for me. So, thanks to Miss Carrie for that. Alright, thanks everybody. Have a great Minecraft.